Hey everybody, I've been cleaning out my studio and I found all this stuff that isn't necessarily finished. Some of it is, some of it isn't. And I thought I'd make a little video and show it to you. And I'm talking on the video, which is really weird. If you've watched my videos before, I don't usually talk or have any sort of sound because I hate the sound of my voice recorded. And if you're hearing this, it means that I decided I hated this less than usual and I left it on. And if you're not hearing this, well, then you know that I hated it and I put the video on mute. So this first thing is one thing that's actually finished. Hoping you can see this without a glare from the angle of the camera. It's a wooden circle that I did a pour on, and then I put in little screw eyes and I did some string art and put it inside this nice shadow box. And I'm showing you this finished piece because the stack underneath it is a bunch more of these circle things. So, just so you know what I'm planning to do with them. This one's finished. It's got a clear coat. It's got this, I used color shift paints in this one. One color, maybe two were color shift. Not sure, but definitely the green to gold. You can see it on the edges. It does that great color shifting thing. Here's another one that is actually a finished string art. I used gray string on this one. It's got some nice metallic shimmer in there. It just needs a shadow box. This one, I've got the holes. Looks like I did the clear coat. I might do another coat of clear coat before I put the screw eyes in. And this was done, I put it on a cake spinner, put the paint on and gave it a really good spin. That's how I get this really neat design in the middle. Here's another one. Got color shift in it. I have no idea what colors I did for this. I did these probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and they sort of got lost in the mess that is my studio. If you saw the pictures I posted the other day, you could see it was a mess. But this one's all ready to do string. I'm going to do white string on this one. It's another one that's got the green to gold color shift. Great spin. Another one that'll have white string on it. This one, more of that green to gold color shift. This one will not be string art and has not been finished. You can see this is what the wood circles look like. It's little MDF circles. So I need a clear coat, and then I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this because it's not string art. Same with this one. I think this was out of the same cup of paint, or at least the same color mix. Needs a clear coat. Let's see. Just set those off to the side. Got some hexagonal canvases. I bought these at Target. Kind of did all the primary and secondary colors. They're a little dull, they need a clear coat, and I did them with craft paint, which makes the colors a little duller, but I think they're kind of cool. So, yeah, they're not in order anymore. I don't know why they're not in order, but they're not. And all of them had two shades of the color, and then white and black. I think it was 2 shades of the color. Might only be 1. Can't remember. Once again, this is stuff I did forever ago, and it's just been sitting around in stacks on various surfaces, which makes it really hard to work. If you're wondering what it is I have in between all the canvases, this is dish packing foam. Comes in a giant roll. I buy mine from Amazon. It's cheap, it doesn't stick to anything, it doesn't leave marks, and it comes in, you peel it off, it's perforated, 12 by 12 sheets. If you've got bigger pieces of work, just don't tear it at all the perforations, and you can have, you know, unlimited length, still only 12 inches wide, so, you know, have to use a few extra. This is an experiment I did, more color shift. I had black and white, orange color shift. Once again, not clear coated. Most of the stuff on the table has not been clear coated. This stuff, I think I used some Martha Stewart Ultra Glitter that I got at Michael's. Super glittery. It took over. And this isn't even clear coated. I can't imagine what it's going to look like when there's gloss on there. Ooh. Oh, this is the one that I posted the other day. My first ever Dutch pour, where the silver really took over. This has not been gloss coated, but it's awfully glossy. I think I must have had a lot of gloss in my white mix. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool, even though it didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted. My second Dutch pour, which turned out way better. You can see the white is still pretty glossy. A lot of contrast in the finish between the white and the color, because the color was cheap craft paint, because that's what I had mixed up. Oh, these are from a year ago, probably. One of my first ring pours. I did 3 of them. This is the one. I think there's some metallic in there that'll come out when I do the gloss. This was blue, blue violet, violet, and red violet, mixed with some white in there. And their metallic counterparts, I think. This one turned out way cooler. This is green, yellow, and white, and the metallics. You can see a little bit right in there. It looks a little more metallic. Once again, not clear coated, so not even as brilliant as it's going to be. This one was the red end of the, or red side of the color wheel. So you got the red, orange, yellow orange is probably in there, and the white. This one is just a pour I did with blues and greens. Turned out really cool. It's got this weird effect, and I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it's almost, I don't even know how to describe it, but it looks like there's texture, but it's totally smooth. So I think that turned out pretty cool. Set that stack of stuff off to the side. I've got a record that I did a black and gray pour on, but it had a red label on it, and I did not seal it well enough, or I didn't wait long enough after I sealed it, so it soaked through on the gray, but not until I put the clear coat on the record. So I was not expecting it at all, and I thought it looked kind of awful, so I'm doing this dotting thing on it. Once again, it's been sitting around. These little silver dots on here, those are just my guide dots, and they'll get covered up so you won't even notice them. Hey, this is something that has been clear coated. It's got blues and purples and silver in it, a little bit of bright pink. Really cool. This one's, what, this must be an 11 by 14. I pick up random canvases all over the place, so it's not usually consistent in size, but I think it's pretty cool. Lots of movement, cells. Another one that has been clear coated. You can see my paint mix was a little thin. These are from a year or two ago. I have no idea when these are. I should start writing dates on my canvases, right? Got this great bunch of tiny cells here. Neat stuff up in here. These big crazy cells. I think there's almost a metallic black in there or something. I don't know, whatever it is, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and I got these bits of neon pink shining through. Well, this one was almost monochrome. It looks like it had some purple in there, a little bit of blue. It basically got eaten whenever I did this pour. Kind of neat. Oh, shouldn't stand in the light. Yeah, tiny bits of color pop through, mostly down in here though. A lot of movement. Oh, here's another monochromatic one, and this one, oh, there's tiny bits of, looks like a little bit of metallic red in there. Must have been just a bit of metallic red that mostly got eaten but kind of mixed in, and it pops up in random spots. Lots of crazy, I don't know if you call it cells, lacing. Neat stuff happening in this. Once again, 11 by 14, I think. Oh, what's this stack over here? Let's see. Oh, hey, I got lots of neat little cells in this. Big wave of pink, some blues and purples in this corner. Crazy stuff happening. Kind of muted. I got some browns happening in this one. Nice blue cells there. A little bit of veining of purple. Oh, crazy colors. Lots of blue, red, some great gold cells in that corner, bigger cells there. Neat little blue cells kind of everywhere, but especially right down in there. I don't know if I had pink or if that's just the red mixing with the white, but interesting stuff happening there. Ooh, really beigey with some nice purple, little bit of pink, but lots and lots of super tiny cells all over on this one. Especially like this area right in here with the purple cells popping through on everything else. Oh, this one needs a better coat of clear on it. Got kind of thin, but purple with some of this limey green going into the dark green, dark blue. It's a nice white area with all the cells in there, a little bit of cells popping through. Kind of looks like the view of some weird alien planet from space. Unless our planet's turning purple, in which case it could be our planet. Another one with those same colors, except without the white. Lots and lots of tiny little cells in there. Oh, there was a tiny bit of white. Huh, who knew? A little bit of black in there. Just kind of fun. Not the prettiest things ever, but fun. Oh, this one's got, oh, this has glitter in it. Has not been clear coated. I don't know why there's glitter in it, but at least it didn't take over like on that other one. Some fun little bit of cells happening there, some movement with that dark blue. Oh, tiny bit of turquoise veining right in there. Kind of neat. And wow, this one. See, I don't remember doing any of these. I know I did because no one else uses my studio, so it must have been me. But I can't remember doing any of these. I really like that area right in there. That's a neat kind of thing happening with the motion in there. Almost looks like maybe I blew on this one a bit. Who knows? Needs a clear coat, it'll really pop then. In this corner, if you can see that on the video, there you can see the glitter popping through there, but it's not very sparkly, which is weird. But the glitter's there. Let's see. Got a whole stack of 12 by 12s here. I think that last stack was 10 by 10s. Oh, this one's got some great color. Nice patch of cells there. Looks like there might have used a metallic yellow, or no, it looks like maybe a gold that mixed into the yellow really nicely. Oh yeah, so you can see gold there and get some nice cells in the turquoise and the yellow, and this great mixing, I don't know what you want to call it there. Might be a little bit of metallic in this pinkish color here. I don't know. Great cells kind of popping up all over the place. Oh, hey, look, everybody. It's another one that's super glittery. Isn't that great? Got these great giant cells. I got this beige color that I mixed in there. I don't remember where that came from, but it's kind of cool. Got this insane pink and purple cell thing happening, and it's just glitter like you wouldn't believe. Get a nice clear coat on that one in a few weeks or something, and it'll be really cool, I hope. Or it might be overwhelming. Who knows? I think I was trying to do kind of a steampunk thing here. Once again, lots of glitter, not quite as insane as that last one, but gold glitter mixed in, gold paint. I got this brownish rust color. There's some black in there. I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually a lot of cells right in through here. Got some great veining of this brown in here. I don't know if this one started life as a ring pour. I think it might have, but covered really nicely. This one has some great color happening, really vivid. Can tell the difference. This one I used artist paints on, not high quality artist paints. These are probably the Artist Loft ones from Michaels, but definitely they're more of a glossy, or at least a satin rather than a matte finish. But crazy stuff here. I don't know if this was the bottom of a bottle pour that went a little crazy or what, but it's really neat. I got some really subtle color variation in here between the blue and then the purple and the black. It's really neat. Great veining in through here. Lines, I don't know. Ribbons, that's what it's called. You can see I had little air bubbles that pop through and you get the white, but that's kind of cool. A little contrast in there. Oh, yeah, I don't know exactly what I was thinking with this one. Great contrast between the brown and that turquoise. I don't think anything's metallic in that one. I think it's just the satiny effect of the artist quality paints. Who knows what it'll look like when I put a clear coat on it. We'll find out in a few weeks here after I get the studio fixed. Okay, here's one. I had a commission to do something with this blue, and so I did a whole bunch of practice stuff, so you're going to see a lot of blue paintings with this color contrasted with like a dark sort of navy-ish blue and then white, trying to get cloud effect. This one, it didn't get very cloudy, but look at these cells. Is that not very cool? So yeah, a lot of movement in this one. I like how it turned out. Wasn't at all what I wanted for the commission, but it's a great painting and I like it. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at this. This is really cool. I used a dark blue, and I used a gold, and I used a color shift purple. And this isn't even clear coated, so it'll be crazy color, but I'm hoping I can get this to show up the massive difference in color on here. Goes from this great kind of metallic looking purple to, you can see a lot more gold. Get the blue coming through sometimes. This one turned out really cool. I don't know how I did it, and I tried to replicate it on a large scale, and I'll show you that. I don't know if you can even see the whole thing, because that's a 12 by 12. This is 24 by 24. Not at all the same thing happening, right? Still pretty cool in a totally different way, but didn't even get close to the same effect. I don't like the blue negative space around this one, so I got to do something to that at some point. But this painting is pretty cool. It's giant. I'm sure not even the whole thing shows up in this video, but it's neat. I got this great gold stuff happening, some cells happening in the pink there, and a little bit of the purple coming through. And the whole thing is kind of metallic because you get bits of glitter. I did not use glitter paint. It's just the way the gold worked in this one. It did crazy stuff. Let's see, what else? Oh, okay. This is really cool. It's something in progress. It's a skull cutout. I got it at Target in the dollar section during Halloween or after Halloween. It was on clearance. I did a white and glow-in-the-dark pour. If you look close, you can see a little bit of variation. There's glow-in-the-dark paint, and that's white paint. It's very subtle. There's pictures earlier in my Instagram of what this looks like with the lights off and glowing. It's very cool, and I'm trying to do a dotted design. It's going to be sort of a sugar skull looking type thing when it's finished, but once again, this is another thing. It's sat around and I haven't gotten to it, but this turns out really cool. If I thought the glow would show up on camera right now, I'd go turn the lights out, but I'm not sure it will, and I'm not sure I can get back here without tripping, so we're not going to do that. What else do I have? Oh, I got this super thin wooden heart that I did a funnel pour on with 2 colors of red and white in it, and this turned out super cool. Look at all the lacing that happened, and then this, I think this turned out really neat. It needs a clear coat because craft paint, not very vivid, but still pretty cool. What else do we have? Oh, this one, this was a pour over on an old piece of art, and I think that's how I ended up with this weird texture. I don't know if it'll show up on the video, but it's got a weird, almost scaly texture, and it's got a lot of little air bubbles in it, but it's not from my paint because it wasn't freshly mixed paint, and I torched it, so it shouldn't be all the little air bubbles, but it did crazy stuff, and I think it's kind of cool. And I think with a clear coat, because once again, craft paint, really dull, I think it'll be cool. Oh, here's another blue one. This is closer to what I was going for. Still not exactly a cloud effect. I think I did 3 different traveling ring pours on here with the various shades of blue. Turned out really neat. I think it's really awesome. So once again, my practice for the commission, it ended up with neat stuff. Here's another one. Still no cloud effect. Apparently I'm bad at that. I'll figure it out someday. But I got some fun things happening. Got some great blue up in this corner, great blue down there. Fun stuff in there. Kind of cloud effect, right? Sort of? Yeah. Once again, another thing for the commission, another practice. Yeah, I think it's really pretty. It's just not at all what I was going for. And the one I actually sold for the commission wasn't what I was going for, but it turned out really cool. And the people that it was purchased as a gift for, they loved it. So that's what really matters. Here I was practicing blowing paint around. Turned out kind of neat. Not at all what I was really going for, but I got some great cells happening, some subtle coloration, you know, cool stuff happening. Happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say, right? Another blown paint practice. Got some really fun stuff happening in this corner. Neat stuff happening up in there. A little bit in there. Some kind of fire looking bits over here. I think it's pretty neat. The white is pretty glossy. These have not been clear coated, so that'll be in the future. Oh, we are getting close to done with all these. Here's another one. It's got a lot of little pinholes from air bubbles. This was another pour over. I used to do some of that space art. It wasn't bad, it wasn't super awesome. I like pouring a lot better. And I think now that I'm starting Dutch pours, if I want to do space art, I think I'll do it that way. Note to self, try some of that later. Got some great fun things happening in the green and yellow area. Tiny bits of blue popping through. Just basically fun stuff. And this will pop a lot more once I get some clear coat on it. This one was a ring pour where the white took over like a ton in the middle here, and I hated it. I had mixed this great rose gold color, which actually works as rose gold. It's kind of metallic rose here, really gold. So it needed an embellishment. I drew this crazy thing. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. My grandma thinks it's the coolest thing I've ever done. So it can't be all bad, right? But I got all these great cells in the white. It turns out really neat. I think it goes this way. I suppose, you know, whatever way somebody would like it works for me. I don't care how you hang my art as long as you buy it and hang it. This is a crazy one. I think it must have been a ring pour. I can tell it was craft paints because it's really, really, really matte. It almost feels chalky, but the colors are neat. And once I throw a gloss coat, they'll really pop. I think this pink will really pop. There's some great purple, reddish purple, red violet, whatever you want to call it, right in there. Okay, here's another one. I was challenged by somebody to do a ring pour and not tilt it at all. And this is what I came out with. And I got lots of divots from air bubbles. So I took a silver paint pen and kind of connected them like they're drawings of constellations. Weird, crazy constellations that are all sort of connected to each other, but you know, kind of fun. It was craft paint again, so if I put a gloss coat, it might look neat. There's a lot of A lot of air bubble divots in there. But you know, it's got some texture to it. You can definitely see, you know, where the thicker paint was, but it didn't crack, and that's the exciting thing. Because it's really thick paint through here in the middle, and it didn't crack at all. What is this one? Oh, I got some bright colors. Oh, I got air bubble divots in this one. I don't know, it's fun. It's bright colors. Needs a clear coat, it'll really pop. Oh, this one's got insane cells happening in here. I don't know how it happened, but it did crazy things. It's kind of fun. Almost kind of reminds me of Mardi Gras or something, you know. Ooh, this is cool. Once again, I don't remember doing any of this. It was obviously me, don't remember it, so these are as much a surprise to me as they are to you. So I got these great kind of fire colors. I got bits of white like popping up everywhere, crazy cells. Artist Loft Flow Acrylic White from Michaels. It likes to react with cells, especially if you combine it with in your pour with another Artist Loft Flow Acrylic. It does crazy things. They like each other. Here's another one where crazy things happened, but I have this big blob. It's not really all black. There's bits of green, there's bits of purple and blue in there, but mostly it's a really dark blob, so I took the silver paint and sort of drew this weird string creature, line art, whatever you want to call it. Goes all sorts of different directions. This one needs a clear coat. Alright, let's see. Got a little stack of practice things. And I know, don't pour on canvas boards, they warp, but not too horribly. This one didn't anyway. If you keep your pours thin, don't leave a lot of paint on there, you might get away with it. This one's got some color shift. Must be color shift orange. Is there an orange? I don't remember. But it does some fun metallic things. Get some great fiery looking cells in there. Stuff happening there. Ooh, here's a neat little one with blues and purples and white cells galore. Needs a gloss coat. This is what? 4x6, 5x7, something like that. Just a little bitty thing. Ooh, here's another one, kind of an almost an under the sea sort of theme happening here. Sorry, I keep kicking a painting. Yeah, so I think there's some gold in there. That'll really pop when it gets a gloss coat. Travels over the edges pretty well. Got these great crazy cells that just sort of pop up in there. I never use any kind of silicone or other additives, which makes it really nice when it's time to go clear coating your paintings and you don't have to spend all that time cleaning stuff off. You just let them cure, throw your gloss coat on, let them dry, and you are good to go. Oh, here's another one. This is like dark blues and purples, blacks, some white. Didn't really get any cells, got a little bit of veining, lacing type thing. I don't think I left, there might be a touch of gold in there, but whatever was there disappeared. Ooh, neons. Some crazy neon. This was obviously craft paint, very matte. You can see there's absolutely no gloss shininess happening anywhere. But I got these fun neon cells coming through on the blue. Very cool. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, lots of silver. It really took over. You can see when I get it in the light. But if I get it without the light on it, you can see that there is some other color. There's some other colors in this big blob of silver. Black, white, fun cells happening in places. Okay, we are down to more canvas panels. Ooh, wow. Look at these colors. Really neat. I don't know if I can gloss coat these without warping them more, but kind of fun on the colors, right? More in this same vein. I must have had leftovers of these colors from something else. I don't know. They're neat. So, one more with these colors. You get some purple popping through there. Ooh, get it at the right angle, it really pops. Oh, these. I think I was practicing funnel pours with some nice fiery colors for these. You can see here, it warped. All of my paint kind of ran to this corner, but it ended up leaving this neat thing happening here. So, once again, happy accidents. Ooh, this one's really neat. You can see where the paint stayed a little thicker. It's a little glossier, but fun stuff happening there. Oh, looks like another neon one coming through. Well, it kind of got a little muddy down in there, but you get this great blue, you get some fun things happening here. Once again, a lot of mud, some bright colors. I don't know, I might just use these as a background for something. It would be helpful if I could actually draw. Then backgrounds would be a much better thing to have around. Oh, this one is definitely a funnel pour. I vaguely remember doing this. All these neat cells and kind of moving the pour back and forth. Kind of looks like Minnesota Golden Gopher colors. Yes, Minnesota. I didn't go to U of M, but hey, the Gophers are cool, you know. So, that's that. I think that's it for little stuff. I got a few big paintings I can show off. Let's see. Oh, I have this giant, black and white. I don't think I put any silver. I think I put some iridescent glitter in there. And for once it didn't take over, it stayed exactly in whatever paint it was mixed into. So it's sort of isolated and it makes some really nice glittery spots. This one needs a clear coat and that'll make it really cool. I think that glitter will pop. Oh, there is silver and maybe it took over, maybe it didn't. I don't know, it's up here. Got some this great patch of cell action up in here. Fun stuff. At least I think so. You might think I'm crazy. That's okay. Here's another one I did with leftover paints from that commission I did. I eventually decided I didn't want to use any white at all, and I made it a really pale blue because the white kept taking over. This turned out really neat. I poured over something else, so it's a little extra heavy. Can't really tell by looking at it. You can see a bit on the edge. I had some half-dried stuff that I had wiped off, and it's kind of rough. But, you know, that lets people know it's real art, not some pre-printed whatever. I got a crazy sort of almost like skin reaction happening under the paint. Gives it a little bit of a weird texture, but it's all over, so it kind of works. You can see some of the paints ended up slightly less satin than others, but this is all nice quality paint, not any of the cheap stuff. Let's see if I got more sitting around here. Oh, this one I haven't even posted yet. I've got a video for it. I will be posting it. This is my third ever Dutch pour. This is a 16 by 20. Those same pink, orange, and yellow colors, but I added a bit of copper. Little too much copper, but it did some fun stuff. Did this crazy breaking thing over some of the colors and over some of the white that I think is really neat. and when you don't have the light shining directly on it, on the copper, you can see some of the other colors coming through. So all in all, I think this is pretty neat and doesn't just look like a giant blob of paint in the middle of the canvas. Let me see if I've got anything else. Oh, I do. I got this big shiny thing. I used color shift. I think it might be color shift blue to purple, and it kind of mixed right into the blue, and it put pink in this painting. I did not use pink paint in this painting, I promise. When I made this, I did not use any pink paint. There's a few chunks of stuff from an old white paint, I think, and I didn't notice them when I poured. You know, once again, it lets people know it's a real painting because it's not perfect, but it's really neat. It does all this crazy color shift thing. I don't know if you see the color shift at the same time I do from the angle of the camera, but it goes pink, it goes blue, it's shiny. It'll be insane once it has a clear coat. Let me see if I've got anything else to show off. Give me 1 second, everybody. I could honestly show off a ton more stuff, but I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, and I don't want to have to dig everything out. This is stuff that's accessible. This was the January 2018 Smart Art Materials June Pouring Challenge. It was a ring pour on the bottom of a bottle. I don't remember if rainbow colors were a requirement or if I just went with that because I love rainbow colors. Either way, it's really awesome. It's got gloss, it's got metallic. This has been totally finished, and you know, if somebody out there wants to buy it, let me know and we can figure that out. But it's really awesome. I got some great ring things happening there. You can really see the glitter of the metallics. I had a little too much white in the center, so I kind of took what was left in the cup and poured that little ring on there, so now it's got this crazy eye thing happening, and I think it's one of the favorite things I've ever done. And I think this was about my first time ever pouring on the bottom of a bottle, so that makes it even cooler that it turned out into something I really like. Because, you know, the first time you try something, it doesn't always turn out. So I got that one. Whoa, okay. I got stuff falling over. Hang on, everybody. Okay. Yes, this one is rainbow fireworks. This one would cost $100. It was a paint over, so you see this ugly paint here. It's not very nice. 22 by 28. Ugh. This was when I decided to start doing dotting projects. And I had this ugly canvas. I don't remember what it looked like before. Might be in an Instagram post a couple years ago now. So I just basically poured silver on it. I just had a whole bunch of silver paint and I poured it on there, and with it being metallic, it wasn't just smooth, so you get some of the variation in here. There's no clear coat because I don't think it needs it, but I did all these rainbow dotted patterns and I was just sort of screwing around and it became a whole thing. I think it's really awesome. So, you know, very cool. Oh, this one. Remember I told you I did space paintings? This is probably 24 by 36. I had this one, I worked in an office and I had a window in my cubicle, which sounds really cool, right? Everybody wants a window, except when it's on the east side of the building and you're trying to work. So I did this giant painting and I brought it into work and I stuck it in my window and it acted as a sunshade. Looking at it now, I can see that the clear coat is really inconsistent and I could redo that, but got some great colors. There's a lot of reddish pink in there, a little bit of yellow, some blue, you got stars all over it. So another thing that I have sitting around in my studio. I think that's the end of the video, everybody. I'm not going to dig anything else out to show off. Once again, if you're hearing this, I decided I didn't hate my voice on recording as much as I thought I would. So, I'll try to do another one of these sometime when I dig out. I got boxes of finished work back there. I could show some of that off. We'll see what the reaction is to this. Bye, everybody.